Question number 1. What is the difference between plant anatomy and plant physiology? Discuss truly. Plant anatomy is determining the plant's parts of structure like a leaf, stem, roots, flowers, and fruits. It also includes the study of the tissues and cell structure of a plant and its organs, while plant physiology is about the process that occur within the plant on how it survives and being alive and its productive, or some cell it functions of the plants, its functions or behavior, and that's how it leads to the process of the plant growth, metabolism, genetics, or even biophysics. Then question number 2, enumerate and discuss the functions of major plant parts. First is shoot system functions of these 4 reproduction parts, and that includes the flower, which is the main part of the starting part of reproduction of the plant and help for the union of the male and female gametes. Then leaf used for the photosynthesis that can lead to survival of the plant and also help for the reproduction of the plant and helps to grow food by absorbing sunlight. Then next is fruit, which is the finished product of the plants which had been made by the help of the parts of that plants, and also next spread of the seed which is inside of it, or some are in the outside part of other plants. Then also stem serves as the whole way of the plant and the part of the plant that connects the all parts and help it to stand and carry the weight of the plant parts. Then what we can observe that is under the ground is the root system, which includes that the root which is also important for the plants by absorption on the ground nutrients such as water and other useful minerals, and holds the storage to reserve food. Then for our question number 3, what are the parts found in shoot system and root system? As I say in question number 2, the parts found in shoot system is about the ground part of the plant are leaf, flower, fruit, and stem. Then for the root system, which is underground part of the plant, are the roots.
Hi, good day everyone. I'm Aira Llanes. I will be answering the question number 4. What is the difference between xylem and phloem? Describe the movement of substances in xylem and phloem. Xylem is the tissue responsible for carrying water and nutrients from the roots to the leaves. It is located near the center of the stem, while the phloem is tissue responsible for carrying food produced in the leaf to the rest of the plant. The phloem is usually located near the outside of the stem. Number 5 question, what is an annual growth ring? So annual growth rings are one of the most defining features of a tree. I'm sure we all have our memories of finding a tree stump and figuring out how old the tree was. Annual growth rings develop during the growing processes of a tree. Number 6 questions, describe each the internal structure of the leaf. So first is epidermal cells are tightly linked to each other and provide mechanical strength and protection to the plant. The walls of the epidermal cells of the above ground parts of plants contain chitin and are covered with a white cuticle. Palisade mesophyll are plant cells located in the leaves right below the epidermis and cuticle. In simpler terms, they are known as leaf cells. They are vertically elongated, a different shape from the spongy mesophyll cells beneath them. Spongy mesophyll is a type of tissue found both in plants and animals. In plants, it is part of the mesophyll where it forms a layer next to the palisade cells in the leaf. The spongy mesophyll's function is to allow for the interchange of gases that are needed for photosynthesis. Stomata are small openings on the surface of the leaf, allow for gas exchange, and they open and close to allow gases in and out. So generally more stomata in the bottom of the leaf. And the last is guard cells, are specialized plant cells in the epidermis of leaves, stems, and other organs that are used to control gas exchange. They are produced in pairs with a gap between them that forms a stomatophore.
Now for number 7. What is the role of photosynthesis in plants and why is it important? So first of all, photosynthesis is the process by which plants uses sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide to create oxygen and energy in the form of sugar. It's simply and commonly known as the food-making process in plants. What makes it important is the role of this process that is considered that the planet's living systems, that includes us humans, are powered by this process. Its primary function is to convert solar energy into chemical energy and then stored that chemical energy for future use. This can influence the productivity of agricultural crops as it directly depends upon the rate of photosynthesis, which can raise the food capital to every living organisms. Also, it is important as almost all the released oxygen in the atmosphere is due to its process, which helps all organisms to survive, including us humans. Number 8. Explain the water movement of plants. Water movement of plants is due to the process called transpiration. Transpiration is when water is lost from plants because of evaporation. It occurs when stomata are open. So stomata are cell structures which are tiny and critical for photosynthesis as it were the ones to take in carbon dioxide and release oxygen. It controls the transpiration by opening and closing, whereas the guard cells surrounds the stomata and are the ones in control for the stomata's opening and closing. So when the guard cells, which are the ones in control for opening and closing the stomata, absorbs water, they will swell that leads for stomata to open. And when guard cells lose water, they will shrink that closes the stomata. This opening and closing functions to allow carbon dioxide to enter and water vapor to leave, and so on and so forth. This can describe as the water movement as the whole process will only function with water. Number 9. What are the factors needed for plant growth? The factors needed that can affect plant growth includes water, light, nutrients, and temperature. These factors affect the growth hormones of the plant, which will either make the plant grow quickly or slowly. Making changes to any of these 4 things can cause stress to the plant, which in turn can change or improve the growth, either of the 2. So light can affect the growth of plants. The difference of biome on each plant resulted to plants adapted to different types of light. An example would be sunlight that is available during the summer months will encourage fruiting and flowering, while during the fall months, when the light starts to change again, many plants will begin shedding their leaves. Next is, in order for plants to survive, plants have to have water. This also applies to us humans and to other living organisms. Plants actually are made up of nearly 90% water. Without the appropriate amounts of water, plants will be stressed and eventually die. So an example is like a plant in a desert. For example, a cactus. It also needs water. It just needs less of it than other types of plants. As water provides nourishment and hydration for plants, it also breaks down elements in the soil, which then plants absorbed with the water through their roots, picking up nutrients that will travel to the cells of the plant. As for temperature, it also plays an important role in plant growth, as plants will slow down or speed up their growth based on the temperature. Plant growth is faster during warmer periods and will slow down or become dormant in a cooler period. And then the nutrients, which is an obvious material needed for plants' growth as that is its main function. Nutrients that plants needed that can be found in water and air includes carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen. The other nutrients that the plant needs are found in the soil, and if a plant lacks any nutrient, plant growth can be stunted. There are two categories of soil nutrients needed to improve plant growth, and these are the micronutrients and the macronutrients. Plants need more macronutrients than the micronutrients, and an example of macronutrients that plants need includes phosphorus, magnesium, potassium, sulfur, calcium, and nitrogen. Proper management like rotating crops regularly and adding compost or manure to soil in a given time and providing plants with nutrients can be essential for the growth of plants. Number 10. Give at least 5 plant growth hormone and discuss. So hormones are produced naturally by plants, while plant growth regulators are applied to plants by humans. So there are 5 groups of plant growth regulating compounds, and each group contains both naturally occurring hormones and synthetic substances in plants. Auxin, an active ingredient in most rooting compounds in which cuttings are dipped during vegetative propagation. It causes several responses in plants like flower formation, fruit set and growth, and bending toward a light source, or also called phototropism. Gibberellins, responsible to stimulate cell division and elongation and break seed dormancy and speed germination. It is produced in stems, roots, and young leaves. Cytokinins are actually found in both plants and animals. They stimulate cell division and often are included in the steroid media. Cytokinin are also used to delay aging and death. These are also produced in roots, seeds, and are responsible for cell division and differentiation. Ethylene is unique in that it is found only in the gaseous form period. It induces ripening, causes leaves to group and drop, and promotes senescence or delay aging and death in plants. Plants often increase ethylene production in response to stress, and ethylene often is found in high concentrations within cells at the end of a plant's life. Abscisic acid or ABA is actually a general plant growth inhibitor. It induces dormancy and prevents seeds from germinating, causes abscission of leaves, fruits, and flowers, and also causes stomata to close. High concentrations of abscisic acid in guard cells during periods of drought stress probably play a role in stomatal closure. These are found in stems, and it is a hormone which inhibits growth, same as to the other types of growth regulators in plants.